Hello, welcome to Tool Time by AccuTap. I'm your host, Tim Farah, Executive Vice President. Today we're going to talk about threading, specifically tapping and thread producing products that AccuTap has to offer. Back when AccuTap first started, we got into the tap holder business. Whether it's your standard CAT 40, BT 40, HSK tap holder, tension and compression, or rigid tapping, we have the holders that are needed for your tapping situations. We also offer the quick change tapping system. Very commonly looks like this for your rigid tapping, and then if you need the torque style, this is the torque style that we have as well. We offer them in Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3 from our inventory. But if you're into large structural or steel manufacturing, like a fab shop, shipbuilding, oil rig building, and you need a Series 4 or even a Series 5 tap adapter, we do make those, and those are made on application. So don't hesitate to give us a call. So why the quick change system? Well, the quick change system was developed by Bills, the patent ran out, and AccuTap has developed the same product because it's known throughout the world and used heavily. We offer our quick change product in all the straight shank and all the different spindle tapers that are out there, including Capto KM, HSK, CAT 40, CAT 50, BT 30, BT 40, BT 50, and face contact holders. Why the quick change system? You have an adapter that simply goes into the holder, snaps into place, and then you're all set to go to start doing your tapping. If you need to make a tap change because it's dulled out, instead of having to remove the whole adapter, you simply push down the button, take out the worn tap, put in a new tap that has the qualified angle on the shank itself, line that up, drop it in there, and you're all set to go. If you need to make a tap change size, you don't have to disassemble the adapter. You simply pull this back and you get your different adapter that you want to put in there, push it down, and you're all set for your quick change system. That is why this system is so popular in manufacturing circles. We offer them for rigid tapping for all those machines that have synchronized tapping. We also offer it in the tension and compression for those machines that have a feed screw versus a ball screw, or if you're machining material that's harder than 42 Rockwell and you need to have that forgiveness in either tension or compression. I definitely recommend that along with the tap adapters. Now, we offered the rigid style that we already explained to you in the many different sizes, very common, but then we also offer the torque style. And why would you use the torque style adapter? You would use this if you are machining hard material, 42 Rockwell or harder, because as the tap dulls, you're going to want to know when the tap is no longer cutting or fighting the machine. The clutch mechanism will click, the audible click will be heard by your operator, and he'll be able to stop the spindle before it breaks the tap. The other reason you want the clutch mechanism is because you are doing a blind hole and you're using a bottoming tap. You want to make sure that the bottoming tap does not hit the bottom of the hole, but if it does, the clutch mechanism again will click, will give the audible sound to your operator so that he can stop the spindle, avoiding damaging the piece part or breaking the tool. So those are the quick change mechanisms we have. Again, we offer them in straight shank, in the different tapers, including tension and compression, in the Morse taper for any of your radial machines or drill press types. We also offer it in an integral style, and then we also offer it in a modular style that you can take the straight shank and put that into the holder, lining up the flats with the lock screws, put that in there. This gives you the capabilities to be able to use the same one in your lathe, or you can use it in your machining center by applying it with multiple different tapers if you have different spindles in the machine shop, and it gives you that flexibility. If you have end mill holders and you'd like to do rigid tapping, we do have the adapters that go into an end mill holder that have the welding flat on it, and it has the quick change button as well to release the tap for those end mill holders. So those are the products that we offer when it comes to the quick change system. By today's standards, many of the CNC machining centers that you have already have synchronized tapping. So if you have synchronized tapping and you currently have ER collet chucks in your program, which most manufacturing plants do, you may want to take a look at the products that we offer that can go into your ER collet chucks. And that is the standard ER collet for tap adapters that has the shank size in here. It has the square in the back that allows that tap to be in there and then be driven. You simply insert it into your collet nut, insert the tap inside of the collet, then put the mechanism together and tighten it down. And because every tap has a qualified angle on the shank, you can find the same gauge length at all the time, so you don't have to be looking for offsets. A recommendation I have for you if you're doing a lot of tapping is to consider the ERTE. The ERTE is a solid, rigid ER style collet, ER16 all the way through ER40. It has a quick change button to release the tap for tool changes, but what it also offers you is tension only. That means that the center part pulls out. Now, why would you want to use this? If you're doing a lot of production tapping and you have the ability to change your program to where you want to set the feed of the spindle at 95 to 97% of the standard feed rate for that tap, you would then be able to, when the tap starts at the hard start, it would catch up to the RPM of the spindle, and then when you get to the bottom of the hole, as the spindle reverses, it has to catch up in RPM. The tension of the adapter takes into effect so that just the cutting of the tap is being done and it's not fighting the spindle in RPM and feed. It will improve the tap life by probably 40 to 50%, but most importantly is you will get 100% of the thread profile from the top of the hole to the bottom of the hole so that you have that nice, accurate, clean tap as well. The cost difference between a rigid tap collet and the ER is about the same, so therefore you get the benefits with the ERTE by AccuTap. If you're doing a lot of production tapping and you are using the same size tap on the same part, and let's say there's 28 holes in there, you may want to consider the AccuTap self-reversing tapping head. The self-reversing tapping head can be mounted into any spindle of any machine. It has a clutch mechanism, it has a gear mechanism in here with the planetary gear so that when you reach the bottom of your hole, the spindle does not have to reverse. You simply reverse your feed rate and it pulls the quill out so that the secondary planetary gear kicks in and it reverses the spindle of the tap adapter, not the machine tool. Now, why would you want to use this system? Number one is it allows you to tap holes faster because you're simply moving from hole to hole to hole. The spindle of the machine does not have to reverse itself, so you save the wear and tear on the spindle of the machine itself. So if you're considering doing a lot of production tapping, I would definitely look into the self-reversing tapping head by AccuTap. So these are all the products that we have to offer for tapping. Since over 1 million holes are drilled every day and over 68% of those holes are tapped, having a good quality tapping system to make good quality threads on your part is very important. Turn to AccuTap for that. Let's say that you're putting an external thread on, like in a screw machine or something like that, and you're doing production tapping. You may also want to consider the SDG die head from AccuTap. This is a self-opening die head that takes chasers. You simply put it in the machine, you set the chasers for the size of the thread that you want to thread. It comes into the piece part, it threads it, and then when it hits the stop, it automatically opens up, releases, and comes out. This is widely used in screw machines, can be used on a lot of your Swiss machines today if you're doing production tapping and you don't want to do single point tapping, or even on some of your CNC machines, you can adapt it to do chasing of your threads versus single point when you want to be able to produce your threads faster. So once again, these are all the threading products: tapping heads, tapping adapters, and self-opening die heads that AccuTap has to offer to you. You can see that the product offering it has is very broad and just about every application you have in your shop. So next time you're talking about thinking about tapping holes, turn to AccuTap. We have the products for you that will help you make your taps last longer, produce the best tapped hole possible, and all from AccuTap. Thank you very much for enjoying the session. We look forward to seeing you in future sessions. Don't forget to look us up at www.accutapusa.com. Thank you again.